What the hell did I just watch with UFC Edmonton? I mean, this card was one of the worst of the year, and we've had some shitty Apex fight nights, and this is going to be above of some of these Apex fight nights that we've had, because that was a god-awful card. Decision after decision, bad judging, low-level MMA, poor performances, handful of decent ones. But what the fuck did I just watch, dude? This was dog shit. Now, good for Brandon Moreno for finally making the main event worth it. Like, we had to sit through a bunch of crap. Thank God we got to watch Brandon Moreno beat the piss out of Amir Albazi. Now, I went 6-7 on the card. My overall record's 280 and 172. Yeah, 280 and 172. You guys can double check me on that. I'll check it after the video. But 280 and 172. I don't really care about my picks and predictions being wrong. I really care about the fact that I almost won $1,000 if Rose didn't get. So it's not a robbery, apparently. I was crying robbery. Everyone's kind of putting me in check and telling me that it was a lot closer than I'm making it seem. I thought Rose won round 4, but we're going to get to that. Let's just talk about how shitty this card is. And now, mind you, we're not going to spend a ton of time on this card because I don't think it's fucking worth it. Like, I need to make a point here to everyone in the fucking MMA community that listens, anyone, just any MMA YouTuber needs to look and be like, dude, what was that fucking dog shit? You don't get talked about if you perform terribly. So we'll start off with Jamie Lynn Horth and Ivana Petrovic. I picked Ivana Petrovic as an underdog. I honestly thought she won. A lot of people thought she won. 30-27, Jamie Lynn Horth is fucking ridiculous. Canada is a fucking robbery. Let's not go back. Like, fuck that place. Honestly, like, we've not had a good card there in quite some time. The only good thing that happened there, other than the Moreno beatdown that we just saw, was Charles Oliveira head-kicking Beneil Dariush. Other than that, that card sucked fucking balls, too. So, Jamie Lynn Horth and Ivana Petrovic. I thought Ivana Petrovic won. Jamie Lynn Horth got the decision. Terrible low-level fight. I don't understand, dude. I don't know how to... I don't know. Moving on, Cody Gibson, Chad and Hellinger. Now, Cody Gibson put on a pretty good performance here. Was dominating. It was boring. There was a lot of grappling involved, which doesn't make it boring, but he spent some time going for finishes. There was a lot of other times where he was just landing pitter-pattery shots in positions that weren't doing too much damage. He wasn't really having much success posturing up and landing damage. So Cody Gibson gets the job done here, but it was a very grappling heavy and not overly impressive performance. Sorry, not overly entertaining performance. It was impressive that he was able to take down a guy with a strong base like Chad and Hellinger 5 times, hold him down and go for submissions. So this was one of the better that Cody Gibson looked. This wasn't such a fun fight, but he won. He won dominantly. He won impressively. It's a good win for Cody Gibson here, even though it was a little boring. Now, I picked Sahir today, and I thought Garrett Armfield was fucking robbed. Armfield could have won this fight like 30-27. I don't know that I saw 3 legitimate submission attempts from Sahir today, so I don't know that that's totally accurate. I thought Garrett Armfield won this fight. I thought he landed better. I thought he implemented his grappling game very well and had takedowns when he wanted to. 80% on takedowns. Sade couldn't get shit going in the grappling. I thought Garrett Armfield won this fight. I thought he won it pretty clearly. The judges gave it to Sahir Sade. Honestly, Sahir Sade won his last fight against Ramon Tavares and got robbed, so I don't know if they're just giving one back, but now Garrett Armfield is owed one back. So maybe you can put him up against like a fucking Ricky Tercios that no one thinks is that good, and you can rob Ricky Tercios. I don't fucking know. I don't know what the judges are on, bro. I don't know what they looked at that they saw this fight 29-28 to Sade. 2 of them did. I don't know. I didn't even remember reading if it was Sal D'Amato on the scorecard, but two very Sal D'Amato-esque scorecards here. I thought Armfield won the fight. I picked Sade, and I thought that was blatantly robbed. Moving on. Again, doesn't deserve much time. You know, when the judges fuck up, we're not going to give it all the time of day. Another fight. Look at this. The NPC heavyweight edition. 2 fat guys rolling around in the ring. Now, Romanov wins the fight because he gets takedowns each round and controls the fight and lands his shitty little pitter-patter shot. Like, I remember when Romanov was fun and he used to be able to posture up in full mount and go Donkey Kong on people's head. He don't do that anymore. He doesn't have finishing ability. He's fat and overweight. Cut these 2 guys. How are these 2 guys ranked heavyweights in the UFC? All you have to be a ranked heavyweight in the UFC is dumb enough to decide, this is what I want to do for a living, and I'm going to stay so fat and out of shape that I'm going to go fight at heavyweight. Jalton Almeida could fight at 205, but I think he looked and said, look at all these fat, unathletic, dumb fucks. at heavyweight that have no talent and no skill. I'm going to go strangle them like Lois Griffin's brother, the fat guy strangler, and go up to the top of the division, because this is just like, it's an abomination of a sport, man. Like, the heavyweight division in the UFC is an abomination outside of the top 5. Abomination. And they were going to do Romanov versus Derek Lewis, and people were going to pick Romanov? You're crazy, dude. You're crazy. Romanov sucks. Nascimento sucks. It was a shit fight. Romanov won because he got his takedowns. Nascimento has no ability to get back up, even though people talked about how good his grappling was. Guess what? You put some of these fat, dumb fucks on their back, they have no idea how to get up. So that's just what you got to do. Stink it up every time in heavyweight. Now I'm surprised this wasn't the main event of an Apex card, because that's what we usually get. Dana, I think's finally figuring out, hey, dude, I can't put these guys on the biggest stage because they fucking suck. Romanov's terrible. Awful, dude. Just awful. Moving on. Yusuf Zalal, Jack Shore. Yusuf Zalal is a beast. Now, there was some impressive grappling done by Jack Shore in the early parts of this fight, but I say impressive, like, he had some success, got his takedowns, but Yusuf Zalal's damn good, man. Like, his grappling is much better. His striking's better. This dude goes out there, has a, decently competitive round 1. And then round 2 comes around, it gets to the ground, he gets position, gets the choke. Or no, that's not what happened. Jack Shore, kind of level changes, and Yusuf Zalal times it with a perfect knee, drops Jack Shore, he ends up landing ground and pound to try and get the finish, gets the back and gets the submission. Yusuf Zalal's a dog. Round 2, I called him to get a knockout in round 2, I believe, so he almost had it. If he kept going for the TKO, he might have had it. But he ended up going for the submission. This guy is on a 5-fight submission streak or a 4-fight submission streak, getting ready to break the record. Good call-outs, good work on the mic after. Fucking love Yusuf Zalal, man. I'm a big fan. This is a tail to the title guy. The Yusuf Zalal title run starting now. I don't want to see him fighting any of these schmucks. Yusuf Zalal deserves a ranked opponent at featherweight here. He does. Give him the Barbosa fight. I hate to see Barbosa possibly lose, but give him the Barbosa fight. Give him a Mario Batista fight. Fuck Mario Batista. Oh, that's bantamweight. My bad. Any chance to just shit on Mario Batista, I'll take. Who's another guy in the division that we can take a look at? You know what I'm going to do right now is look it up for you. We're going to do this live. We're doing it live. Fuck it, we'll do it live. Dan Ige. Dan Ige coming off a loss. This is the fight to make. Dan Ige, Yusuf Zalal, make it happen. It's a really good fight. It's actually a tough one for Yusuf Zalal because I don't think his grappling is going to be too easily implemented here. Because Dan Ige's also got power, but Yusuf Zalal's a problem, man. It's time to start looking at him getting in the rankings. Who's ranked 13? I don't know why he got out of that so quick. I'm actually cool with the Bryce Mitchell fight. Bryce Mitchell or Giga's a good one too, so you got guys in that division that you can put Yusuf Zalal against. That's who I want to see Yusuf Zalal fight. Jack Shore, go down to bantamweight, dude. You're fucking tiny for featherweight. What are we doing here? You don't have to drain yourself at bantamweight, but if that's what you're doing, then I guess fine. If you're more comfortable, stay at featherweight, but you're too small for these guys. Moving on, Charles Jourdain, Victor Henry. Charles Jourdain looked good here, man. Threw some good volume. Ends up getting his submission. Victor Henry had some moments on the feet that he was looking pretty decent as well, but Charles Jourdain was landing more shots. He was landing better shots. And listen, the body shots were really a big part of this fight that Charles Jourdain was landing, but also that Victor Henry was landing. They were both doing a good job of mixing it up. Now, Victor Henry did struggle finding the head, which is weird because people can usually headhunt Charles Jourdain because of his smaller reach, but Charles Jourdain was able to do what he had to do. Victor Henry's the one engaging in the grappling here. And I didn't think that was the right decision because of how dangerous Jourdain is with the submissions and how I don't think Victor Henry's that great of a grappler. So Victor Henry ends up getting caught in a guillotine, shooting a bad takedown, and Charles Jourdain subs him up. That's what he does. His guillotine's pretty solid. I think he's got a good Darce too. I think he has a Darce submission on his resume, but good performance from Charles Jourdain, gets the submission. Listen, these are two guys deserving of performance bonuses. Charles Jourdain and Yusuf Zalal back-to-back had good performances. And Ayman Zahabi had a good performance. It was just a little boring, but I thought Ayman Zahabi did everything he needed to do to win this fight. It could have been 30-27. You could have had it 29-28. I'm not overly pissed off with that. I think that Munoz had some moments in round 3 that were good where he was landing good shots. Round 3 was actually pretty fun. But Ayman Zahabi was just doing more the whole time. He was more active with the hands. And And Pedro Munoz, I don't know what the deal is. I thought he was going to come out blasting low kicks the whole fight, and once he threw his first couple that were landing, then he just decided to stop. I don't know if he was running into issues with the counters of Zahabi where he was getting tagged and stuff, but Zahabi really just made Pedro Munoz look like he didn't belong. Not that he didn't belong, just he outclassed Pedro Munoz, though. Like, he really did. He looked much better. He was landed better on the feet. He was so defensively sound, too. He was very good at getting in and out, where Pedro Munoz was not able to really get off. Pause. But yeah, I liked Zahabi's striking defense very much. I liked his ability to scramble and sprawl. Like, he didn't really have to scramble, but like he was able to stuff takedowns from Pedro Munoz. And at the end of the fight, Pedro Munoz wasn't really going for him. He was just trying to show Zahabi something different to bring the hands down. And it worked a little bit. There were moments where Pedro Munoz was landing up top at the end of the fight, but he went away from those low kicks, and I really do think that lost him the fight here. I thought Aiemann Zahabi was doing a really good job defending up top. But yeah, Aiemann Zahabi looked good in this fight, man, and he could be looking at ranked competition soon. Like, he could be looking at a Montel Jackson fight coming up because he has a win over Basharat, like Javid Basharat, because Farad's actually really good, not Javid. And Pedro Munoz. Those are two pretty good unranked wins. So I'm cool with the Montel Jackson fight. I think it's a pretty good one to make. I think Montel Jackson probably wins, but hey, let's see, because Aiemann Zahabi he's going in there with great game plans and looking good. Bro, where the Mike Mallet hype is crumbling beneath our feet. Now, I get it wasn't entirely his fault that this fight was fucking boring, but he did not show me skill with his hands. He was having a ton of trouble landing up top on Traven Giles, and I know Traven Giles was just sitting there and, working on his outside foot battle and making sure he gets a couple of those feints in so that way he doesn't throw a strike after, but Mike Malott did a good job staying on the outside, landing kicks, landed a lot of really good low kicks, did a great job of blasting kicks to the body and then flirting with the kicks up top, throwing front kicks that looked good. Traven Giles just did nothing the whole fight, and Mike Malott was totally fine staying on the outside and kicking, and I get it. Do what you got to do to win. But you're here in Edmonton, your home country, where everyone's cheering for you. You got one of the biggest pops of the arena, and that's the performance that we see. And that's coming off a loss from Neil Magny. Dude, I don't think Mike Malott's that good. I really don't. He doesn't impress me that much. His hands suck. Like, he sucks with his hands. He's got a couple of good kicks, yeah. But he's not that defensively sound. He really tires out as things get past the second round. I don't think he's that good. It's just that Traven Giles is dog shit at fighting and needs to be cut. That's really it. Traven Giles is the guy there to be the stepping stone for someone like Mike Malott that the UFC is trying to promote. A Pratis that the UFC is trying to promote. Like, they just give this guy prospects and he just loses to them. That's all he's got to do. Mike Malott kind of sucks, guys, but he won the fight. It is what it is. He can take it, too. Like, I can say Mike Malott kind of sucks and he can fucking laugh it off because he's a I think he's a Toronto hockey guy, so like he's got, hockey guys, they got a sense of humor. They can fucking laugh it off, and he'll chirp back. It is what it is. But yeah, Mike Malott, not impressed with that performance. And after coming off a loss to Neil Magny, things get dicey, man. Things get real dicey. He's got to put on a really good performance next time for me to actually give a fuck about the career going forward. Speaking of giving fucks about careers going forward, I'm going to say it, dude. I'm interested in Dustin Stoltzfus fights when they happen. Bro loves to go in there and swing and just go to the death. He did that with Bruno Ferreira, and unfortunately Bruno Ferreira has god-level power, and he throws spinning elbows that can knock you out back-to-back. Insane. But Dustin Stoltzfus tagged him a couple times in that fight, and he beat the fuck out of Marc-Andre Barriault in this fight. Marc-Andre Barriault, fell to the ground. Stoltzfus jumped him, remained in control for 4 minutes of this fight. It gets back to the feet, and these two just start slinging, and Stoltzfus is landing, and Barriault is dumb enough to just miss and keep getting hit. I don't know why he didn't go for a clinch exchange or something to try and stop the power that was coming his way, because Stoltzfus was landing. He was landing with pop. Really, really good performance from Stoltzfus here. Since when was he USA? I'm totally cool with you repping USA, buddy, as long as you're voting for my brother, all right? I thought he was German. He was German when he fought Abus. Now he's from the U.S. I don't know, dude. I don't know. This seemed like one of those fights that Trudeau would have tried to rob, the little bitch man that he is. But I can call Trudeau bitch made. I think I can. I'm in a different country. It's fine. Stoltzfus, good performance, man. Just put a beat down on Marc-Andre Barriault. Got the knockout. Deserves a performance bonus. So far, performance bonuses, they go to Stoltzfus. They go to Jordan. They go to Yusuf Salal. One could go to Jasmine Jasudavicius here, but I'm okay with that, but I kind of want to give one to Moreno at the end, so I don't really know. Yeah, I'll give one to Moreno at the end until. Honestly, I'll tell fucking Jasudavicius to fucking pound sand because I just didn't care about this fight that much. Now, Jasmine Jasudavicius is pretty good. She needs to really, when she's facing a kickboxer, she needs to go to the grappling earlier because in rounds 2 and 3, she went to the grappling and dominated in the grappling, was able to land ground and pound, able to threaten with a submission and end up getting it in round 3. But round 1, when they stayed on the feet, Ariane Lipski was just piecing her ass up. Ariane Lipski's sneaky a baddie, guys. I'm going to say it. She's kind of a baddie. And that's why she lost this fight. Baddies don't win in MMA. Just saying. Rose, not a baddie. She looks like a fucking 13-year-old dude, which is probably why Pat Barry likes her so much. But it is what it is. Now we're getting into... Now that's too much. Okay? It's too much. I'm speaking too much truth that Pat Barry's a fucking creep. But, yeah, Ariane Lipski looks good in the kickboxing. It's just the second that Jasmine Jasudavicius implements the grappling, Ariane De Silva has no idea what she's doing. She's a fish out of water, can't get up. Never thought I'd see that in a Brazilian woman, but she's not a real Brazilian woman. She's a woman. She's not one of those Brazilian women. She's a Brazilian woman. If you know what I mean. Denise Gomes fight coming up next week. You'll know what I mean when I get to that video. But good performance from Jasmine Jasudavicius. Gets the win, gets the submission, impressive performance. Kind of a baddie, too. Like, I'm not going to lie. She's kind of a baddie. Maybe I'm just down bad, guys. But we're going to move on before things keep getting a little freakier. Don't want to... I don't know, dude. I'm just tripping because this fucking fight card sucked so much balls. Like, there wasn't fun moments. Like, this Jasudavicius fight, while she had an impressive performance, it wasn't that fun. Stoltzfus had a fun moment, but like in the grappling, it wasn't that fun, where it was for 4 minutes out of the 5 minutes of the fight. This fight smoked balls. This fight was technical, but not overly fun. It was decent. Good performance from Charles Jourdain. It was decent. Yusuf Zalal looked good. Dog shit fight. Dog shit fight. Dog shit fight. Dog shit fight. Like, I mean, dude, that's what the card was. Like, I'm done with these shit fights, man. And speaking of shit fights, we get to what I think was the worst one on the card. Brenison Aberio being tentative the entire time when he's able to land on Caio Machado, and Caio Machado smiling and laughing at him like he's a fucking horror movie character for a kid. Like he's a kid's horror movie character where he has the weird fucking look and he does the dumb smiley grin. Duh. You belong in a circus, you fucking dumb fuck. Good on you for losing weight and making it to light heavyweight so you can try and have a little bit of speed, but you still look slower than molasses out there. What the fuck are we doing? No talent, no skill, lowest level MMA fight on the card. What the fuck did I watch? This was terrible. Brenison Aberio's got power, and when he throws his 1-2, he fucking lands it. But he doesn't throw it enough. Caio Machado isn't landing good shots at all. He had a couple high kicks that he went for that got blocked, and that was it. But Brenison Aberio, every time he touched the chin, Machado would get popped back, and then Machado would do his backup dance, have his little fucking cartoon grin, and fucking get pieced up. This fight sucked. Low-level MMA, Aberio won. It was a split. I don't fucking care. Let's get to the one that I'm actually really pissed off about. I don't think this is the right decision, and I keep watching this round 4. I've watched it 2 more times after watching it live. Every time I see it, every time it goes to Rose. I get it, other people have it for Erin Blanchfield because she landed more volume, but here's what I'm going to say about the significant strike totals. When she's throwing dog shit combinations that have no impact on Rose Namajunas, all she's doing is tallying a strike total number with terrible technique, no power, no damage. She's just throwing strikes to throw strikes. She's not doing anything with it, where Rose is kind of, I get it, she's gassing in round 4, but like she's slipping, she's throwing her combinations, and they're not powerful, but they're clean, they're good technique, and they're landing clean. She's not just spamming a fucking combination button because she knows there's no power coming back the other way. Like, what the fuck are we doing? That round 4 to me really goes to Rose. She landed the better shots. She did. She landed the prettier shots, the more selective shots. And she landed the ones that were popping Erin Blanchfield's head back. Erin Blanchfield didn't land a shot that popped Rose's head back the entire fucking fight. Round 1 and 2, Rose puts on a masterclass. Round 3, Blanchfield gets the takedown and Rose fucking gives up in round 3. Round 4, it goes out there, it stays on the feet the whole time. As long as this fight's staying on the feet, that means Rose Namajunas is winning. That's where she wants it. It stayed there. Blanchfield's, she's throwing relentless volume. She threw 10 more significant strikes. She landed 10 more significant strikes than Rose Namajunas, and they were all terrible strikes. I don't understand. Like, that's not a Blanchfield round to me, man. I can't give it a Blanchfield in that. I give it to Rose every time. Totally disagree with the scorecards. A lot of people are giving it to Blanchfield, so I'm kind of like one of the people that are individually giving it to Rose. Yes, if Rose won, I would have won $1,000, but it's not just because I had money on the line that's what I wanted to say. I didn't lose $1,000. I would have won $1,000. I had 2 parlays riding on this. One was the last thing was a Rose Namajunas decision, and the last one was the other one was a Rose Namajunas money line. So, whoop-de-fucking-do. I think Rose won this fight, dude. Round 3 and 5, she lost clearly. Rounds 1 and 2, she won clearly. I thought round 4 was a pretty clear Rose round, and then I saw the fucking live odds, and then Henry Cejudo pretending like he knows how to judge fights and do anything other than be cringy and tickle Kamaru Usman's gooch on a podcast, and then get fucking ragdoll by Merab even though he's an Olympic champion. You're a pussy, Cejudo. Fuck you. But anyway, I thought Rose won this fight. I think this is the wrong decision. I look at significant strike totals, dude. Like, the stats aren't always telling the story, guys. Your eyes are telling the story. The correct story is told by your eyes. And every time I watch this 4th round, Rose is beating Erin Blanchfield. She's landing more shots. Not more shots. Blanchfield landed more shots. Now I'm just spewing nonsense. But the shots that Rose are landing, they're better. They're coming off of slips. And, like, she's landing combinations that are actually popping the head back of Erin Blanchfield. The jabs. She's landing hooks that are shaking Blanchfield's head. Blanchfield's just spamming terrible low technique combinations that do fucking nothing. I don't get it, dude. I don't get it. I don't know why Rose doesn't throw kicks anymore either. I don't know why Rose isn't fucking fun anymore. She sucks to watch too. I'm sick of it. Get rid of Pat Berry. He's a fucking dumbass in your corner that doesn't care about anything other than clapping the cheeks later at night, bro. Like, I don't know. The fuck, dude. Terrible, terrible fight. Thank God we have Brandon Moreno in our lives, though. Because if Amir Albazi ended up winning, by the way, 49-46 is fucking ridiculous. Just saying. Judges need to start looking and saying, oh, just because he had a better round than the other 4 where he was getting his cock and balls beat in, let's give him 1 round. No! Moreno still wins all 5 rounds. Just because Amir Albazi did better in 1 round than he did in the other 4 and didn't get his ass beat as bad doesn't mean he won the round. It just means he didn't get his ass beat as bad. Moreno just 50-45'd Albazi, made him look like he didn't belong. Albazi does suck. He robbed Kai Kara-France. Moreno looked fucking great too, dude. His takedown defense, like the way he was able to get out of takedowns, like the one takedown that Amir Albazi got, like Moreno literally just sprinted, got out of there super quick, landed his combinations and beat the piss out of Amir Albazi. Round 5, he landed the best shot of the round or the fight, which was that hook that really hurt Albazi. Thank you, Brandon Moreno, for making all of that dog shit leading up to this event worth it by watching you beat the piss out of the terrible fighter that is Amir Albazi. Thank you, Brandon Moreno. You saved my sanity, even though I'm still going insane. But what a fucking win, man. Great return. Love to see that he has I questioned his motivation going back into this, how much he loves this. I know he's only 30 years old, but he just looked like he was giving up in the Royval fight. Like, he had one of those demeanors that it was like, dude, this guy doesn't even want to do this anymore. He's sick of it, he's bored of it. But nope, that isn't right, because Brandon Moreno's that guy. Comes back, great performance, looks really good. His boxing looks crisp. His takedown defense looks on point. The Brandon Moreno title run, it's time for it to return. Hope you enjoyed the content. Please like and subscribe if you did. This was a shit card. I understand. I have to do these videos, even though I really wish that I could have just stuck the middle finger to everyone that had a fucking terrible performance, which was everyone but Moreno, Zalal, Jasud Vicious, and Jordan. But I can't do that. Fuck that card. Was terrible. I'll do a matchmaking video. I don't give a fuck about anyone other than people that really got finishes or that are ranked. So that's the only ones that I'll do it for. It's not going to be a long matchmaking video either, but we'll do that this week. And then rankings updates. I might pair with the matchmaking, so that way I really want to make an Ilia Topuria video, so that's going to come out this week. Stay tuned. We'll obviously have our predictions, and again, if you enjoyed the content, like and subscribe. If you fucking hated the card, also please like and tell me how much you hated it in the comments, because it sucked balls. To go from Topuria knocking out Holloway, Tomzat breaking Whitaker's jaw, Ankalaev getting a win, and then go to this card that we have to sit through the entire time. Terrible, terrible stretch. It's tough to be a fan sometimes, but it is what it is. I'm a Topuria fan. We're making a Topuria video this week. Hope you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe.